a bunch of different walks of life to come in and discuss election issues and election events. That happens Friday, 9 to 10. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we do these candidate interviews. And that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring on our next candidate. Are we ready? Okay, stretching. He is a newcomer to politics.
He's former police officer.
Also a veteran who was tapped by Congressman Michael Nicholas to head up the Congressional Veterans Advisory Council.
And he's also a local businessman.
Yes.
He's John Ananich.
Right. Is he there? Let's put him on. We'll go ahead and put him on here. John, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm trying to figure this out. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine. I think it's just the video.
Unmute your video.
Unmute your video.
I'm trying to undo that right now. It's saying something like failed to start video.
Failed to start video.
Let's we'll consult our tech guy. Jay, failed to start video.
Yeah, Jay, come on, help me out here, Jay.
It's coming. He says it's coming.
Okay.
Right.
All right, maybe, hold on. I see a small icon down here. I'm trying to, maybe if I hit this.
We got his graphic.
We've got your, yeah, but we're trying to get the video.
Can you see me?
We don't see.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No, go. I'll work on it. Go.
Okay, he's going to work on it. But in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and do the interview.
All right. So you came out. You got a John. We're going to go ahead and start the clock now, and we'll try and figure out the video as we go. So we've seen.
Good morning, Chris. And
right
good
on.
morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
Thank you guys for having me on your show.
Of course, and we'll just go ahead and start, John. So we all saw the big signs popping up, everywhere a couple months ago. And, I don't know you personally, but the thing that hit in my head was, who is this John Perez Ananich, and why does he have such big signs? So I guess, first of all, introduce yourself to the people for those who might not be able to put a name to those signs.
Yes. I'm John Perez Ananich, and I actually am running for senator. But for those who don't know me, I did, I was a police officer for 12 years. I worked in public safety. That's my main background as serving the community, and then now I'm also a combat vet, as you mentioned earlier, Chris, and now I'm a small business owner.
Okay.
Okay. I guess we'll just start with the law enforcement background, and specifically we'll ask about the ICE epidemic. So it's no secret that we're seeing, just pounds and millions of dollars of crystal methamphetamine coming into our island. That being said, would you support the reinstatement of a Mandania-style multi-agency federal local task force to really crack down on these people who are importing drugs? We've all seen the trials with, there was that big one with Martinez and Henry Alvandia. So I'm just curious to get your 2 cents as a guy who used to pound the pavement with the Guam Police Department. What do we got to do to bust these people who are bringing in the meth and selling it on Guam?
No, absolutely. I agree 100% that we need to have a task force. I believe that the Mandania task force was disbanded. But Chris, regardless of what you call it, or regardless of what name you give it, Safe Streets Act or whatever you call the task force, we definitely need to have a force that's out there cracking down on people importing drugs and bringing drugs into the community. We definitely need to get that out. We need to get it full force. But also, Chris, what we need to look at is, I believe the biggest issue when they started that in LA, there was a group called Rampart. And what we need to do is not only bring something like that together, but we also need to manage it and make sure that the people involved in the task force, aren't tempted to go corrupt. But 100%, I agree that we definitely need that out there because it's proven to work. The Mandania task force worked. So whatever name we want to call it or whatever name they give it, I think by bringing these public safety entities together, working together to crack down on methamphetamine. And, Chris, it's not only ICE now. We're hearing that there's another drug. There's other drugs coming in, synthetic drugs coming in pill form. So we need to crack down on all of that because that's definitely hurting our community and it's hurting our people. And the vulnerable are the young, you know, the 18.
I'm going to get candidate John Ananich back on here. John, do we got you now? Are you here?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Okay. So now we've got the video. We went through 6 minutes. You've got 9 minutes. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's issues on your end or our end, but you were in the middle of discussing, I want to say, prescription pills, fentanyl, the risk with the youth, I believe.
Yes, yeah, because I believe the question I was answering was on the Medania task force or something similar. Is that correct, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, I actually, I'm all for it. I'm 100% for it because, you know, those programs like that, they work. They actually, you know, we get out there, we're out in the community, and we're actually trying to stop this this epidemic, if you will, of drugs coming into Guam. So I'm totally for it, and I think that you know, an effort when you involve other public safety entities such as you know, we go local and federal. You know, it's a great thing. But like I was saying earlier before we got cut off, is that we also need to manage it, Chris, because you know, temptation happens all the time. I mean, everybody gets tempted, and we need to manage it, and we need to rotate the people out through those services because it was shown in Rampart that if you keep the same people, you know, in the organization, people tend to get tempted, and it causes corruption. So I'm all for it, and I think if we manage it right, it'll be great. But like I was mentioning, it's not only ICE that we need to worry about. There's drugs coming in pill form that actually prey on our youth, and you know they're making it look like candy. They're making it look you know look like it's something inviting, and we need to crack down on that as well. Mm-hmm. You know, we need to start keeping up with the criminal minded and making sure we're one step ahead of them.
Aside from the island's drug problem and crime, what are your other priorities if elected?
You know, God willing, and you know, I get the confidence of the people. Public safety mainly, Sabrina, is my platform. It's what I'm running on, is because it's what I know. Mm-hmm. And you know, I believe that everything's connected. You know, education and healthcare. You know, it all falls in line. And you know, we get the people safe again. If we get Guam safe again, I think we'll be able to deal with all the other issues. So basically, my platform is to run on public safety and just bring you know, bring stability to public safety and make Guam safe again.
Right. You know, John, you talked about corruption and people being tempted when they're just in that atmosphere so long. So what would your comments be with the drug corruption that we saw with the Jotnia mayor and the deputy marshal? You know, there were allegations made against Joey Terlahi, and this is something that still hasn't really played out. But if you follow the court transcripts, it's really alarming how much sway these drug influences have over, you know, parts of our government, like the judicial system, which are supposed to remain above reproach. So how would you address specifically that corruption? And then I guess generally, how do we combat that type of corruption in the future?
You know, absolutely, Chris. You know, you're 100% correct. We see it. And I think the way to buckle down on that, Chris, is to have a zero tolerance. You know, we definitely need to ensure that you know, that we make them an example. You know, we have to have a zero tolerance issue when it comes to any type of corruption, whether it, you know, and not only government, it happens in the private sector as well, and we see it. But if we buckle down and have a zero tolerance attitude towards it and treat it that way, you know, I think we can overcome it. We definitely got to buckle down, and we got to stand firm, you know, when it comes to corruption, and address it accordingly.
Right. So I mean, what are your ideas then to police the police, to police law enforcement?
Yeah, you know, if you know, again, God willing, and I get the confidence of the people, is, you know, to have oversights. You know, but what I saw a lot of lack of with the current legislation is the oversights. You know, we need to hold them accountable, but the only way to hold them accountable is understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. So if we want to, you know, not have any oversight hearings and not understand what's going on, and I think especially with public safety, we should do it quarterly. You know, we should just every quarter, you know, have an oversight hearing and say, okay, what's happening? What are the issues? How are we going to buckle down on it and understand? Because the only way to do something about it is to know what's going on. And I think that the lack of oversight hearings that were happening with the legislature is probably part of the problem.
Right. John, could you, and I know that you kind of glossed over your service with the Guam Police Department, but could you maybe just give us a little more detail into your tenure with the GPD, and also maybe whether or not you believe that the rank and file men and women in blue are supporting your candidacy for senator?
I would hope so, Chris, because I was always a boots on the ground kind of guy. In 2005, when we finished our cycle and we were pushed out into the community to protect and serve, since then it took 12 years for my cycle to get promoted. There's really no true retention program with the Guam Police Department, and that's something we need to fix. You don't have people knocking down the doors at Department of Administration to become a police officer these days, and rightfully so, because since I left the department in 2010, I left in 2010 because I ventured off into a small business, but I remained on the department till 2017 as a reservist. And the issues that I had back then, the reason why I was forced to leave, I was actually forced to leave, Chris, because exactly that. There was no retention program. We weren't getting promoted. So every year I was getting into more and more debt without accruing any new debt. And it was because they didn't have a retention program or a promotion program. So basically, I had to leave. And that's something we need to fix. We need to get people, we need to have a retention program. We need to have people to want to be police officers again, because I'm telling you right now, it's a great job. It's service. It's service to the community, and it's thankless. I mean, let's face it, Chris. Nobody really likes a police officer unless they need them.
I do.
So it's a very thankless.
I love the cops.
Yeah, exactly. The cops are the enemy until you need them there. But the hard truth and the reality is there's not enough police officers. And people talk about on the internet now. If you look at the internet on Facebook, everyone's talking about defund the police department, and everybody in the mainland is responding to it. But the fact of the matter, Chris and Sabrina, is Guam's police department, or public safety in general, has been defunded for decades, for a very long time. And I think what we need to do is stop defunding it and appropriate the funds to adequately, give these people the money so that we can bring in more police officers, because that's what we need. Everybody wants to talk about when it's election time, and you hear it, and I'm not, I'm saying it too, and that's my platform, is because it's what I know. But you hear everybody say public safety is an issue. We need to get more police officers. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of talk. Chris, and enough talking. Let's do it. If you really want a safer Guam, then the fact of the matter is we need more police officers, and we need to fund public safety. Not only police officers, but DOC, the marshals, everybody under public safety needs to be funded. And I feel that if we can do that, if we can fund them appropriately, then we can definitely start to see a difference in how public safety plays a role in our community. Right. Because
John, you have about a minute. You have about a minute to just wrap things up. Okay.
Sorry. It was actually that disconnection. I lost a lot of time, and the landscape on campaigning has made it so hard for us to get our message out. Mm-hmm. And Bria and Chris, I thank you so much, for allowing me this opportunity. I'm actually using my phone right now I'm holding it here, but I thank you guys so much for allowing me this opportunity to try and get my message out, because with this COVID, this COVID pandemic we're going through right now, it's been very hard for, for new candidates to get the message out. So thank you guys so much for this opportunity.
Right. Well, John, we'll check back with you after the primary.
Yeah. And just so you know, we did stop the clock when we lost you on the disconnection. Okay. Just to make sure you got the same time as everyone else.
Yeah, and 15 minutes is very hard to get the message across, but
I'll come buy some ads.
So much for 15 minutes, Chris.
Okay, John.
But we'll check back with you after the primary.
Got it.
For another round.
Most definitely. Thank you guys very much.
You guys
have a great day.
Okay. Wash your thumbs. 9:50. We'll go ahead and close.